Yo, what's going on, Javier Lobby? It's your boy Javier with Javier Show. Make sure you say it twice. All right, so next on the list is Brainwashed by Tom Macdonald. And this one came highly recommended. So with that being said, I'm excited to watch it. I hope you are too. And I'm going to give my honest reaction. First time, I didn't watch it before, as I always do. Now, let's get into it.
1 in a million to one villain. Too hot to be in the kitchen. I'll end up melting the ceiling.
All right, so before we jump into this, I just want to remind all of y'all that I pay attention to the lyricism, I pay attention to the music and the visuals. So with that being said, I'll be judging this based on those things alone, and I'll give my reaction and feedback like I always do. But this is Tom Macdonald Brainwashed, and let's get it.
Half the country fell asleep, but they scream woke. We're distracted by vaccines and TV shows.
Okay, I'm really liking that beat. That beat just jumps at you. It's just like, boom, boom. Yeah. And like always, I mean, most of the time, Tom Macdonald jumps right into it and he just gives you what's on his mind, which I really think that he might write his music this way. He might just start off like saying, you know what? I really feel this way about something and I need to talk about it. And artists, that's how they usually do things. They just start writing. Now, I'm going to start it over. Just digest what he's saying.
Half the country fell asleep, but they scream woke.
Half the country fell asleep, but they scream woke. You ever feel like you're talking to somebody who is part of that woke joke crowd, and it seems like they're not even there with you? Like they're not even fully awake, but they claim to stay woke. Ain't that the truth?
We're distracted by vaccines and TV shows.
Man, the visuals so far, I can already tell this is going to be awesome. You see all the TV screens that he got right there. It's like he's sitting in front of the TV screen and he's just soaking in everything that they got coming to his face. I think, some newspapers at the bottom, so that could be the mainstream media or something of that sort. But we'll see how it goes. Little rewind.
TV shows, politics, celebrity, gossip, popular, neat quotes, black lives, white lives, which lives mean most?
Woo! I'm back at the Javier Flair. Let me tell you, which lives do mean the most? Because it seems at this point that we're in a tug of war. Like it's always about which side needs more attention and what are we not focusing on and what we need to put the spotlight on, and we're dividing each other based on this criteria and that criteria, and everybody's at each other's throats about it. Which one means the most? I thought we all supposed to matter. Aren't we all Americans and we all citizens and we all human beings and we supposed to be figuring out this thing all together, but everybody wants to divide themselves? Thought we learned that lesson already. Preach, Tom, preach.
We only dedicate one day to remember our fallen soldiers.
Hold on, let me rewind a little bit. He done switched it up on me.
We only dedicate one day to remember our fallen soldiers, the men and women who died young.
You know, I don't know how I feel about that one. Let me see. The transition.
Only dedicate one day to remember our fallen soldiers, the men and women who died young. But if you come out the closet as Caitlyn Jenner, you're a hero and you get a whole Pride Month.
Ooh, boy, spitting. Now, look, I'm going to tell you off the rip. Isn't it funny that you don't really even have to accomplish anything these days? Y'all ever heard of getting participation trophies? Well, now we live in a society where people are getting trophies for just coming out as a certain lifestyle or just being a part of a certain group. And we're supposed to celebrate that, and we're supposed to give them praise and all of this stuff when it comes to Caitlyn Jenner, for example, she's accomplished way more other things in her past life as a man. And those are the things that should really get celebration. But with that aside, Tom ain't shying away from nothing. Nothing. Let's get it.
It is Caitlyn Jenner, you're a hero and you get a whole Pride Month. The most dangerous pandemic's propaganda from these clowns. Only mask that's gonna save us is duct tape on their mouths.
The only thing that's gonna save us is duct tape over their mouth, not a mask. You know, I'm guessing this came out during the pandemic. Got that pandemic, and as you notice in the visuals, you see how he got the little swirly thing. It's kind of like mind manipulation. What they call it? Where they put you to sleep and they basically, get you to do what they want you to do. And it seems like that's the visual, at least that's what it's supposed to be. And I think it's called hypnosis. That's what it is. And I think the visuals are dope. Let's rewind it again, because man, duct tape. That's the best kind of mask, ain't it? Oh man.
It's propaganda from these clowns. Only mask that's gonna save us is duct tape on their mouths. Don't speak. We don't need to defund police, need to defund the media who lies through their teeth like.
Man, I've been saying this for the longest. Yes. When it comes to the goddamn media, right? How they keep making all of these millions and millions of dollars lining up for people to watch them just so that they can tell them their truth, just so they can tell them what they feel like you need to know and tell you their opinion about it. And I'm not being specific to one news organization over the other news organization. Almost all news organizations are good at pandering to a certain audience and pushing a certain narrative. Because let's just admit it, at the end of the day, we all got biases. We favor one side over the other side. And it shouldn't get in the way of us just reporting the facts in the mainstream media, mainstream media, but it does. And it does so often and obviously that, you know, I'm twitching over my word because gosh, like, yes, it's obvious. Everybody know what the mainstream media been up to.
Media who lies through their teeth like Big Pharma doesn't cure you, dog, because every patient that gets cured is a customer lost. And big.
I'm just gonna ask you a question because Tom Macdonald just told you. What's more profitable, the cure or the treatment? We've heard this before. It's the treatment. It's never the cure. I mean, if you ran a multi-million-dollar pharmaceutical company and you are held to a higher standard to your stakeholders, would you really cure something one fit all and now you're out the door? Or would you, make them take that slowly? Just think about it.
Lost and big oil runs the world. The only wars to get fought are with the countries who have natural resources they want.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Who wants to really go to war with a country if there's nothing literally to gain from it? Right? Who's going to waste their time fighting a war with a country and you're not literally enriching yourself or getting something out of the deal? It makes no sense at all. So even if you're justified by going to a certain war, you're still, while you're there, you're going to get the resources that you feel like you need. And trust and believe this. This option is always on the table when they're talking about who we're going to attack and where we're going to war. And hell, half the wars we've been in lately ain't even been sanctioned or justified by the Congress. Presidents just do what the hell they want these days. Preach.
Natural resources they want. Heard him claiming if a white man braids his hair and likes rap, he's appropriating culture. But if a white man acts too white, he's white trash. He's a racist, he's a bigot, he's a monster.
Ain't that the truth? I mean, you braid your hair. Oh, you're appropriating our culture. If you're a white person, you got locks, you're appropriating our culture. There's a lot going on there, but let's switch it around. Is wearing long weave appropriating other culture? Think about it. Now, there is a good thing, and I brought this up in one of the other reaction videos. If you want diversity, you want to find the things that make each an individual strong and that you can benefit from and learn from, and it actually benefits the group as a whole. This whole cultural appropriation is a way of keeping other people from adopting things that they seem like is a good idea from your culture. And it makes no sense to live in a country where we can benefit from off of one another and learn from one another and not to take full advantage of that. And it literally hinders us from making progress in this country. Preach. I'm thinking that some of what Tom Macdonald does in his videos is I see a lot of recurring themes, and maybe he might use something that he used in a different song before and bring it back to you, which I'm sure that the fans like. Those people who really dive deep into these videos and his music, they'll recognize a lot of his unique quotes and styles that he uses, which is all right. There's nothing wrong with that.
He's a bigot, he's a monster. Let's just have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb, not all Republicans are racist. The government.
Ain't that the truth? Like I said, I have no problem with liberals. I have a problem with far leftists. And, most conservatives I meet are really not racist. And that's just the fact of it. But one thing about it, two things for sure. Social media will have you believe, and the mainstream media will have you believe that majority of the people on either side fall into those categories. You're being played, period. Oh, Get it.
All Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them. They can't.
Yeah, true. You know how many people I talk to that are on the left side of the aisle who agree with me on so many things, war on drugs when it comes to, this government spending. There are so many different things that we agree on that we never take the time to actually focus on, because as long as we're fighting each other, guess who we're not fighting? The government. It's that simple.
Against them. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight, trying to brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die.
All right, so when it comes to the hook, not a fan of it. I'll admit it. For some reason, Tom Macdonald hooks are hit and miss with me. I think my favorite hook from his was Fake Woke that I've heard and reacted to so far. This is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not the best hook. But at the same time, I'm starting to feel like he has a certain type of style that he's favoring, and that's cool. But when it comes to his lyrics and what he's actually saying, if you pay attention to that, it's awesome. And I agree with it probably 99% of the time. And also pay attention to the visuals. They mean so much. And I like to pay attention to the visuals because people will watch these videos and they'll just talk about the music and all, but they're not really giving appreciation to the effort and the work put into the background and the environment and just the creativity that goes into the visuals to enhance that experience that you have. And that's why I always try to pay attention to the visuals. You got to give credit where credit is due.
Let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets.
I like that part. Gosh, why do you always do this to me, Tom? Why is it that the first part of your hook I'm not really a fan of, but then you drop something else in the hook and it sounds so good? I don't like, why is it? It might be me, but I keep getting caught in this trap. I don't know if he's doing it intentionally to me or if I just got a problem. But I love the second part. Gosh, what is wrong with me, guys? Let me know in the comments below. What you think is wrong with me?
Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. It's us against them, it ain't you against me.
True. This song is hitting it on the head every time. That's what it's about. Ask yourself how many things you really think a day, and ask yourself this: how many of these ideas are original to you? How many of the things that you're upset and angry about or who you're mad at is dependent upon the information that you're receiving in every day? Are you having real, genuine conversations with people and coming to these disagreements, or is it because it's an us versus them mentality? This is not sitting on the middle of the fence type stuff right here. Like, we literally share a country together. And if you can't get over the fact that you share a country with other people that may differ with you on certain issues, but for the most part, we get along enough to continue our country, at least for now. We shall see. Go, Tom.
Against me. How did monkeys become people and people turned into sheep? They put fluoride in the water that's keeping us all asleep.
Okay. So how did monkey become people and people become sheep? That's a nice line, right? I don't agree with the whole monkey turning into people thing, and but I definitely get the whole reference, right? Now, that is, look, if we take it at face value on what he just said right then, and not take it too seriously, I 100% get what he's saying. And it's amazing how people can go from being humans who are supposed to be intellectual individuals who get collected into this sheep mindset and just start following the herd.
The water that's keeping us all asleep, claim they want what's best for us. I find it hard to believe because they've been selling us cigarettes since we was 18.
Ain't that the truth? And you can drop out of school at 16. You can also go die at 18, right? So, look, it's a very well-known thing that they don't really care about you. They care about, A, how can they keep and maintain power, and B, how can they continue to grow their influence and, keep everybody else in check. That's what it's about. Trust me on this. I got you. Go ahead, Tom. Preach.
Best for us, I find it hard to believe because they've been selling us cigarettes since we was 18. Fake news, fake woke, distract and divide. You're either right or you're left or you're black or you're white.
Yes. Now look, Tom hits on this a lot of times. You know, he talks about, you know, being left or right or black or white, and everybody puts these labels on everything. And look, I take on a label, but when I take on a label, I actually use a label to define a group of characteristics or values that I hold. And I'm not really into the whole black white issue. I think, you know, race is generic. It's something that society divided ourselves amongst each other, and we still keep playing this game, which for the life of me, I don't know why. But remember, it's only as important as the mainstream media tells you it is, and they will ignore certain things and only push certain other things to get a rise and reaction out of you, and it works every single time. It always works. They know how to control you.
You're either right or you're left, or you're black or you're white. Big tech don't need a microchip to hack in your life, because the phone inside your pocket is a tracking device. And I don't know what I'm gonna sit.
Yeah, that phone knows every single thing about you. It knows more about you than you know about yourself. Man, see, this is the thing about Tom Macdonald, right? If you sit down and you just read out his lyrics, every now and then, you just gotta stop and take in one verse or one bar alone and just sit there and ponder it, because it means so much. And if you put it all together, it's like a masterpiece, and it works. It works. And trust me, the man is preaching.
Device. And I don't know what I'm gonna sick of, rappers or Joe Biden. Look,
did you hear the ringing in the background? That was good. That was very nice. It was a nice touch when they talk about the phone being a tracker device. You hear it.
Device. And I don't know what I'm gonna sick of, rappers or Joe Biden looking like he ate 100 Xanax for dinner.
Say what you want, but Tom Macdonald is not afraid to just be himself. You know what I mean? Just to dinner. Like, yo, the comfortability is there. I like that. I appreciate that. And you notice that he's on the screen and he's off the screen, and all the programming going on. The visuals are nice. You can tell that Tom Macdonald is working with a very limited set, but at the same time, he's using it very well. And if Nova is a part of this, then I'm pretty sure she's doing a great job at this as well.
800 Xanax for dinner. Because censoring the president and kicking him off Twitter is a bigger threat to freedom than foreign ballistic missiles.
All right. I'm going to speak on this little Twitter thing real quick when it came to banning Donald Trump from Twitter real quick, just because Tom Macdonald said about it in the song. I know I'm late on the song, but I got to talk about it. Right now, I don't believe that social media has any reliable means of controlling or censoring any type of behavior without becoming biased. With that being said, though, I do believe that the free market has every right and ability to choose who uses their service and who doesn't. The problem that comes in with Twitter and Facebook and these things is they have protections that other companies do not have based on them being a platform. They shouldn't have those certain protections that they're going to censor. Then they become a publisher, and that's where I have a problem with it. And you know that if you are protected by the government when it comes to certain platforms, then you should not be able to silence the government, especially the president of the United States. And if you want to do so, you can do so, but you can't afford the same protections. That's my whole take on that. Let's go, Dom.
The freedom than foreign ballistic missiles. You don't trust the police or the government, but you want people giving up their right to own a firearm. Why?
Yes, the same people who say don't trust the police, don't trust them to save you or protect you. They might kill you themselves. Are the same people who say, can you please give up your only means of protecting yourself? Like, in what world are we living in? Do they not even think this through? Talk to them. Talk to them. Somebody got to talk to him. I've been trying to talk to him.
But you want people giving up their right to own a firearm. Why would you be comfortable if police and the government the only people on the planet with the right to buy a gun?
Yeah, that makes no sense. How would I feel protected or safe when I know that the only people who has firearms are the government, the same people who literally take taxes out your check, will write you a ticket that you got to go pay the court, written by a police officer who you pay his salary, to go see a judge that you pay his salary as well, to park at a downtown parking spot where you got to pay as well to park at. Like, the government is designed to obtain more and more of your wealth and power. And that's what they're designed to do. And why would I ever feel comfortable giving them that much power over my life and my safety and security, especially when they're not going to be here when it's time for something to go down and I need them to actually protect me? Come on, we see this time and time again. There's numerous examples, but great job, Tom.
On the planet with the right to buy a gun. White privilege getting amplified to reinforce division. It convinces white people that they're favored by their skin and black people.
Rewind. This the deep shit right here. Pay attention.
Favored by their skin and black people getting angry because they're told they're treated different. So the conflict is between us and never with the system. Let's just have.
Let me prove that real quick. If y'all ain't hear the brother in the back. Listen. There are poor white people. There are poor black people. There are poor people in this country of all different walks of life and all different shades of colors who all struggle and suffer and facing some hardships. There are people in the middle class of all different stripes and colors. Then there are people of the upper class who have all of this different stuff and they come in different shapes, sizes, and colors, right? So why is it a white versus black issue? You got to ask yourself, what purpose would that serve? You never hear about the Chinese or the Japanese or the Mexicans, or you'll never hear about that. It's always a white and a black issue, and they keep that going the most. Everybody else just falling behind in the wayside because they know that that's all BS. We fighting each other because every election cycle that comes around, what happens? The black and white issues come up. So we divide ourselves. And as long as they keep you divided, they can do stuff that you're not paying attention to. Preach. I'm gonna play that back a little bit so y'all can hear what he's saying.
Different, so the conflict is between us and never with the system. Let's just have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb. Not all Republicans are racist.
Let's just have a conversation. Can we just have a conversation, please? Please. That's it. So much power in that one freaking sentence.
Are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know that if we get along, we'll probably go against them. They can't stop us because we're ready to fight, trying to brainwash us.
You know what? I take it back. I like this hook. I like it. It just sneaks up on me. Gosh, I be trying to give her the most genuine reaction, and sometimes things don't naturally hit your ear in a way that you like. But after you listen to the song more, it starts to really grow on you. And this is one of those songs that it's really growing on me. Gosh, like, yo, y'all gonna hate me. This is like, man, make up your mind. I don't know, but the brother be challenging me. I can't help it.
I know brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. It's us against them, and then you against me.
Man, look. This is a banger. Y'all got me here. Look, I'm just gonna admit it right now. Still to this point, number one on my list is Fake Woke, and then I think the next one is Don't Look Down. That's my second one. And out of all the ones I reacted to, I haven't reacted to all of them yet. And number 3 would be this one, Brainwashed. Preach.
Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, and
man, rewind this man steps, man. Let's rewind it. Let's get back to the steps again.
It's me. Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2.
Train the people only to consume. We so busy eating and taking in what they want us to take in that we're not putting anything else out. We're just putting out what they put in us. That's the first step. What's step 2, Tom?
2, infiltrate adults with the news.
Infiltrate the adults with the news. So now it's about telling you certain select information. So you can't really truly make up your mind about anything because you don't know the full story. You got to know the full story. We've seen this time and time again on many situations in society where people go out in the riot and over something that they heard and they don't got the full story. And then the full story come out later and now everybody looking like a jackie. Come on, man. What's step 3, Tom?
3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step.
That's it right there. We got a step 4? A step 4? If they control the kids, they got the future. I keep telling y'all that. If they can control the kids, they got the future. We knew this already. This is the oldest time. Oh, we got step 4.
On the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step.
Oh, yeah, that's a given. Division. Divide and conquer. Is that not a popular saying? Divide and conquer. You know, great.
Left, step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor.
Okay, so step 5 is separate the black from the white. Yes, you can change out any of these in whatever order you really choose. But I mean, for the sake of the verse, he's laying it out in that way. And step 6 is, you know, divide the rich from the poor. Notice that everything has to do with dividing lines. If you notice, everything that we're fighting over is something that in reality, most of us have never really sat down and had genuine conversations and tried to figure these things out. We just disagree. You know why? Because the politicians disagree. The people on the left and the right, they always bickering back and forth. They can never come. And then we choose sides based on what they want us to do. Like I said, I started the JAVIER show just to have real, genuine conversations with people about real serious topics, and we see where it goes. Can we just have a conversation? Preach.
Separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem, made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step
I can't even keep up with the stats no more. He breaking it down though, ain't it? Look, if you could just take this verse right now and just apply it to your life, just apply it to your life, man. You know, like if you just notice, pay attention. Man, I can't even keep up with the stats. He breaking it down.
Put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design.
Situational design. Woo! There are going to be people who listen to this song and still don't get it. Still don't understand. They probably still hate on Tom Macdonald. You can't say that brother don't be dropping some truth, even if you don't agree with everything he say. Come on, man. It's that simple. Hangover gang, where y'all at, man? Write a comment down below.
Situational design. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight, trying to brainwash us, but we won't.
Boy, I thought that. Oh man, I'm waiting for my other part to come on. The second part of the hook.
But we won't let freedom die. The whole world's
brainwashed.
Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed.
That's my part right there, y'all. If y'all take away anything from the part that I really, really like the most, is that part. That's the part right there. Exactly. Oh.
It's us against them, and you against me.
Nova Rockefeller, once again, dropping a banger. That's it, man. That's Tom Macdonald, man. Doing what he do best, speaking some truth, dropping knowledge on everybody. Man, look, I done been going for 28 minutes. God, look, man, tell me what y'all thought about the song. That was your first time hearing it. Let me know what your thoughts below. And also tell me, do you like the parts that I like, or do you like the song as a whole? Do you dislike it? Let me know in the comment section. If you're new to the Javier Lobby, welcome. I hope you take the time to just hit that like button. Everybody take a moment to smash that like button and share this video with somebody that you think will like it. With that being said, thanks again, Tom Macdonald, for this one, Brainwashed. And give my little rating. The beat, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Beat was nice. Wasn't the best beat in the world, but it was definitely dope. And the lyricism, everything on the message made sense. I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. And when it comes to the visuals, I'm going to give that a strong 8 out of 10. And the reason I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10 is because, yeah, it wasn't much to go off of. It did really good concerning what the beat was on and what the music was about in the song. But, like, I could have did a little more variety when it came to the song for a certain reason, because the subject is so heavy, but it was really good. So 8 out of 10. Overall, I'm going to give the song maybe 9.5. That's what I got to say. Thank y'all so much for watching the Javier Lobby. And as I always say, be peaceful and be great. Peace and glory, everybody. Till next time. I'm out.
1 in a million to 1 villain. Too hot to be in the kitchen. I'll end up melting the ceiling.